All right, and welcome back to Burning Daylight Sports. I didn't get a chance to make a new intro video, but I do have a couple new songs. We'll preview them. They're all AI generated, but I have to say they're not that good, but they're not that bad. It would help if I connected my Bluetooth. All right, now we're ready. We're gonna be cooking with oil now. Some plays that'll make you glow. Burning daylights here, let's go. Sports top fire, that's that pay. Every game they'll lead the way. Morning, noon, and night to stay. Tune in quick, don't miss a play. Burning daylight, let it shine. Pink so sweet, you'll think they're wine. Podcast fam, it's your time. Money stacks and dreams combine. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Sounds like a Macklemore song.
Kinda, yeah. I forget what I put on that. I haven't paid for it yet. That's also the crazy thing, is all that shit was free too. Except they take your data, but fuck, who doesn't anymore?
Like you get like some better beats or something like that if you pay for it. I don't know.
I think you only get so when you put in a prompt, and like I was telling you before, it's 200 characters, and then you just put in what you want. It takes like 30 seconds to a minute. Oh, and there's Eric. Eric, how's it going, buddy?
I went to a restaurant in Fort Collins yesterday, and I woke up this morning and I started spinning back up both ends. So CSU gave me food poisoning, so I've been dealing with that all day.
By food poisoning, he means black pepper, because in Wyoming they don't know how to use spice. Eric, this is my buddy Jake Rehnquist. We went to CSU together. Jake. This is Eric. He's a former. You're from Elizabeth or Parker?
Parker.
All right.
Okay. And then he went to the Army. He was 82nd Airborne. Jumped out of a plane, and then landed without the parachute opening correctly. So, how fast were you going when you hit the ground?
I think I did the math, and the only way I could have survived is if I was going at the fastest 40 to 60 miles an hour. And the ground was just soft enough.
That sounds terrible.
It's because that Estonian ground's for bitches. If you had landed like that in America, you'd have died. Our ground's too tough. Estonia's a bunch of bitches. But anyways, so this will be the Burning Daylight Sports crew for this NFL season. Well, if we go much past NFL, I'm gonna have to really do some serious basketball watching, which I don't do, or hockey or something, because once the NFL is over, there's only so much baseball betting you can talk.
Yeah.
It gets. I don't know. I love baseball, but it takes a real baseball nerd to follow a podcast, and I don't think I have that many in my audience. So we'll stick with football for the most part. But anyway, we were just getting started, and I played our rap intro song. I think I'm going to stick with that for a while. We can close out on the country song since Jake's a little scared to be associated with the country song, but it's all right. We'll save it for the end.
Fair enough.
So I was gonna bring up Primetime over at CU. to start off our recap of college football, that I was kind of high on Deion and CU just because a little bit of a nostalgia. I was a CU fan growing up, and then actual CU fans wrecked that for me pretty quick when I went to college. But I was kind of treating the Buffs last year like I treated the 2017 Cubs. I hate CU as an institution, but I've always liked Deion Sanders. I've kind of liked his story, and I was like, it's got people talking about Colorado football for the first time since Peyton Manning retired. Any sort of Colorado football had no mention since Peyton Manning retired. So I was like, at least they're talking about Colorado again. Didn't turn out real well for him, and that made me kind of disappointed, but also deep down just made me kind of happy because CU failed last year. And I mean, I guess compared to the year before, they were way better, but still, when you bring in that big of a name, you're expecting some pretty good success, and they didn't have it. That made me kind of happy, and I don't see them having much real success this year either. So that makes me happy as well.
Yeah, I watched the game. Like, they had some flashes there, but it's also they're playing it's North Dakota State, which I don't know what they're not the same division, right?
They're FCS or D1 AA, but they are like
they win it like every year, right?
Yeah, I think they've won like 9 out of the last 13 or 14 or something like that. I heard. So they're a powerhouse in there, but it's still, when they pick off teams, it's like, I think their biggest one was like K-State, which that one was, we were like, oh shit. All right, I see you, North Dakota State. But they picked off Iowa State one time. I think they might have beat CSU, didn't they?
They got us.
Yeah. So, I mean, they haven't picked off any big dogs, but it's not surprising for them to go up and beat a D1 school. And shit, they damn near did it.
I bet them to cover and to win outright. So
that's same thing. I won. I think I bet them to cover and the overs. So I lost that bet because it was a parlay. And then I just as a flyer, I put like $2 for him to win outright because it was like 6-1 or something. And it was a good game. That Travis Hunter dude is insane. That dude is really fucking good. Shedeur Sanders looked good. The rest of them just kind of meh.
Yeah, I wasn't really impressed. I don't know. I assume they'll probably be better than last year, but not expecting too much.
For all the hype they have, and all the celebrities they got showing up, but they're not really showing out a whole lot.
No.
I guess big takeaway after the week 0, week 1 games. Florida State sucks. They're bad. The rest of them, I don't know. I'm excited college football's back, even though it's like watching a completely different sport nowadays. It's still college football. It doesn't really get good till like week 4, because it's all tune-up games. So there's just not much to talk about on that. I don't know.
I went to the CSU at Texas. We got stomped, worse than expected.
Yeah.
Didn't even get close to to cover spread. It was hot. Bad game. Stadium was really nice. That's an impressive stadium.
How's the scenery in Austin?
Very nice.
I figured. Yeah, it was not a great showing for the old Mountain West Conference.
UNLV was about the only team that really played like they wanted to be anywhere. Boise State struggled against Georgia Southern. CSU and Wyoming almost got blanked against an Arizona State team that finished last year at 3-9.
Oof. Yeah, I lost money on Wyoming. I thought they would go in and cover, if not win outright. And oof. Yeah. I didn't win any money on on college football this weekend. not a goddamn thing. Or no, I think I took it was like a 6-leg parlay of all the most heavily favored teams, and it just barely paid plus money on a 6-leg parlay. So it was like, Georgia versus whoever, and I don't know. It was a gimme bet, and there's a reason it didn't pay out very well for being a 6-leg parlay. But I realized I still don't know a goddamn thing about college football. So there's a couple games, some decent games this week as far as actually ranked teams. Eric, you can chime in on some games that you think are worth watching. But overall, week 1, looks like the Mountain West is shit. It looks like Florida State is dog shit, and the rest of them, I don't know. We'll see when they play somebody for real.
Yeah.
Coming up this week, though, we do have Texas at Michigan. That's that's the big game of the week. I don't know what Michigan did this week. I know they won, but I don't know any details on that. And Texas, Jake, you were saying they looked really good. And because they just butt fucked CSU. So,
they just outclassed us all over the place, and I don't think that's a good indication of how good they are, really. But they did look really strong. Arch Manning played a bunch in the second half, and he looked really good. So I think that number 3 ranking makes sense from what I saw.
Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't watch that game. I was working, and we had end of the month inventory, so I was busy enough that I couldn't actually watch it. But I looked at the score, and it was like 35-0 at half or whatever it was at half, and I was like, oh, that's not going to be fun. Not going to be fun.
No.
There was the other game that we were talking about was Iowa State. That's it was like a 3-point game. 2.5 is the spread.
Yeah, I just looked at the over/under on that one. That one's
33
really low. So I was saying I'd take the
35.5
under. I might take the over on that.
That is really low.
Ferentz fired his son because he couldn't score last year, so I think they're really trying to put up some points.
Yeah, wasn't that in his contract that he had to average so many points? And it wasn't that many.
It wasn't that much
for college.
I forget what it was. It was very slow or very low. So yeah, maybe the over on that one.
That and it's an in-state rivalry game. Those are always pretty fun. And honestly, Iowa's a better program overall, but Iowa State, Iowa's always a really, really fun game to watch. It's low scoring.
Iowa State screwed up a few of their seasons that they're expected to do really well with a loss right off the bat.
Iowa State is never good, but they always knock somebody out of the national championship picture. Always, they somebody that just that's a game that whoever is in the picture should win, and then they just Iowa State ruins it for them. They're like They're like North Dakota State. They'll just knock somebody off just because. It's the only thing they have going for them that year, but they got that.
Yeah.
And then the other one I saw was K-State Tulane, and I was going to ask you, Eric, is Tulane any good? I know they were pretty decent last year, but
Tulane is always kind of they're hit or miss. But the past couple of years, they finished with 10-win seasons for the first time in a long time. And when you look at the odds, K-State's only got a 55% chance to win.
Yeah,
so it's a lot closer.
They're about a 4-1 favorite on mybookie.com. It's a 9.5 point spread. Over unders at 49. But it's at Tulane. I think if that was in Manhattan, that line would be like closer to 14 or something like that. I don't know what the home environment is for the Tulane Green Wave, but like Manhattan's a pretty tough place to play.
Tulane's not easy. It's tough to go into New Orleans.
Yeah. K-State travels well though. They
sure do.
Kansas don't have much going on. But those K-Staters fucking love them some purple, dude. They're like the Cowboys fans of the Big 12. Like mildly delusional at all times. Other than that, I didn't see. I said it's still like tune-up games. You know, we got like Northern Illinois at Notre Dame.
There's one other ranked game. I'm trying to find it. Tennessee at NC State.
That's okay. A tough game.
That'll be a fun one. I hear Tennessee looked pretty good over the weekend. They were kind of a big question mark about how they were going to be.
They beat Chattanooga 69-0.
Oof.
Okay.
we got CU Nebraska this weekend too. So that's so weird having it early in the season.
Well, they're both Big 12 now, right?
No, Nebraska's Big 10.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
And Nebraska's the favorite. They're minus 280. Spreads at 7. Over-unders at 59.
After watching Colorado last week, I think I'd lean Nebraska.
Yeah, I would think so, but I don't know anything. Nebraska's been terrible for a while now, so I don't know. I don't have a clue. And if you talk about delusional Nebraska fans, holy shit, man. They're still living in the late 80s, early 90s when they were running the option. You know, like they haven't been good since they ran the option, or I guess they had that one year with Ndamukong Suh. But other than that, they haven't been good since the Tom Osborne days. So if you talk to them, yeah, they're going to win it all. But who the fuck knows? I don't know what Nebraska's going to do. That's talk about a blue blood school that just really fell off.
Yeah, I mean they had a few good teams in the 2000s, but it's been a while since they've really had a real shot at a championship or even a Big Ten title.
Yeah, Houston at Oklahoma preseason, that looked like a pretty good game on paper, but Houston got beat by UNLV, right?
They got beat pretty soundly by UNLV.
Yeah, so it's a 29 point spread for Oklahoma, minus 10,000. So that seems like that one's going to be a complete ass whooping. Honestly, that's is San Diego State any good? that's kind of the only other one I see is Oregon State at San Diego State. If San Diego State's at all any good, that might be a decent game, but
I'm not sure. I mean, is Oregon State?
I don't know. I don't know necessarily that they're very good, but I think they're better than most of the Mountain West teams.
That's probably still true.
Washington State, I don't know about.
I mean, last week, or I guess this past weekend, Texas Tech almost lost to Abilene Christian, 51-52.
And Washington State's a 2-point favorite on them. So
Washington State, you know,
they must not be very good, huh?
I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
All right. Well, anything else stands out for you, Eric, on college football this week?
Boise State and Oregon.
Okay.
Boise State's going up against a team that was held to 24 points by Idaho.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oregon didn't play very well.
Number 3 to number 7 in the country because of how well Idaho played. Now Wyoming is playing Idaho at home now too. So we'll see how that game works out for us.
Boise State, they're always a spooky team to play. But it's in Eugene, 19-point spread. You'd think Oregon's going to be looking to they'd be looking for some scalps this week, but who knows? Maybe they're not that good. I don't know.
We thought Florida State was going to be taking some scalps this week.
Yeah, and that did not turn out well at all. On the baseball side of things, before we get into NFL, I was looking, the freaking playoff race is so AL East. We got the Yankees and the Orioles are essentially tied, right? Yeah, it looks like.
Are they half game off now? I can't remember.
It looks like it looks like Yankees are up by a half game. Guardians leading the Central, the Astros like pretty commanding leading the West. They for starting out like garbage. The Astros still
6-game lead there. I think it dropped to 4 sometime in the last week, and then Seattle dropped a few.
Yeah. The Central is tight. You got the Tigers, the Royals, and the Twins all right there close.
Tigers are a little bit back, but I think the Royals and the Twins are tied. They're
like
game.
Twins are up a game. They're 2 games behind essentially is schedule wise. So.
Oh right, okay. Tigers have been doing pretty well. They keep winning. 4.5 game back in the wild card. It's been a long time since I've thought about playoffs in Detroit or this late in the season. So I'm just happy they got a winning record. So
Mariners really fell off from their hot start. They looked like they were going to be a problem if they made it to the playoffs, and it looked like they were like 11 games up in that division for a hot minute, and then they just kind of fell off. But like
all those close games started to catch up with them. They can't score.
Yeah.
So
they're a great playoff team that can't get to the playoffs. Like they're. Right. If they were in the postseason, I would not want to go against them with that level of pitching.
Exactly.
They can't put runs on the board.
No, not at all. And they went out and traded for a few guys at the deadline, and it helped a little bit, but not
enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. National League, the Padres and the Diamondbacks were kind of nipping at the Dodgers for a minute. That's kind of cooled off. Dodgers got too many people, man. They just
I think they're solidly in 1-2 for the wild card, but the division looks like it's gone.
There was a brief flash, like right after the All-Star break where it looks like maybe the Padres or the Diamondbacks. I mean, they look like I think they were within 3 games.
I guess they were like a game down at one point.
And it's funny what a $1 billion roster will get you. I mean, they just don't have Dodgers really don't have any holes. They're
I mean, their biggest hole is everyone's on the DL, but
yeah, but they're still
winning with like their entire starting 5 pitchers on the DL. I mean, I don't know how they just keep coming up with people, but yeah, it's
whatever, and also for whatever finagling the MLB had to do to make sure that Shohei didn't get popped for that gambling deal. I'm glad they did, because that guy is so fucking good at baseball. Holy shit, he's good. Just like I'm glad we get to watch that dude.
I mean, he's on pace for a 50-50 season, first one ever. That's insane.
It's insane. And we like, this is the third sports show, and we've talked about it now for the 3rd time in a row that he's just so fucking good. But literally every time I'll flip over to the Dodgers game, it's like, oh, there's Shohei with either like just grooves one in the gap or just launches one into orbit and then steals a base, and he does it looking like a robot the entire time.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the game today. It's back in at the Angels for the first time. They gave him a nice standing ovation, and then he went out and hit a triple, and I didn't even look like he tried that hard to make the 3rd. It's like, all right.
If he would have said he stole home, I would have believed you. Like I would have just believed it. I was listening to Dallas Braden and the guys that he on their as the Baseball is Dead podcast, and he's like, so Shohei hit 40, or he's at 40-40 because well, of course he is. It's like it's a legit achievement in baseball, and like it's not even that surprising because the dude is just, he's that fucking good.
Yeah, I can't say how impressive he is often enough.
Yeah, it's insane. The Braves are essentially tied with the Mets. The Mets really been coming on. Cubs have been on a little bit of a hot streak here lately. The
Braves have been on a bit of a slide all year.
Yeah, exactly. They started out horrible. Their number 1 pitcher gets hurt immediately, and then it has not been good for the Braves, which essentially that was kind of everybody's favorite to win the National League this year. Well, it was Dodgers Braves in the NLCS this year. It was pretty much, and like people were not all that high on Philly, really. They were like they were kind of down on Philly, and Philly has been great this year. So who knows? Baseball's fucking weird like that.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, I think so. Sale's probably going to win the Cy Young there. I mean, they got a lot of injuries, but it would be interesting to see them if they can hold on to that last wild card, see if they can do anything in the playoffs.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think they'll be right there. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but I think I don't know. They've for all the injuries and shit, I don't think they've never really dropped much below like a game or two out of the wild card this year. So like, I don't know. I won't be surprised to see them there. Padres are still looking good. Diamondbacks are are scrappy as fuck. They got good pitching. National League West is a really, really fun division.
Except for the Rockies.
Outside of the Rockies. yeah. Minus the Rockies, National League West is pretty fucking good. But that's kind of, yeah, really just the playoff race is looking fun. But on the NFL, Thursday night's the season opener, banger of a game. We got Ravens at the Chiefs. Chiefs a -155 on the money line. Spreads at 3. Over unders at 46.5.
I'm going over on that, and that's probably all I'd touch.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's Baltimore is going to be a problem for anybody all year. Kansas City is Kansas City. They got Patrick Mahomes. He's I don't know. Like I've said it before, just until proven otherwise, I don't really bet against the Chiefs. But the Chiefs are notorious for not covering. And so don't be surprised if they win it by 1.
Okay.
I don't know.
That spread's so close. It's first game of the year. But that's why I just touched the over, because I think those are both big offenses.
Yeah.
Especially Henry now. So
yeah, I think overs that's probably a pretty good bet. My gut says Kansas City wins that, but I don't know. I don't know how good the Ravens are going to be. I think they're going to be really good, but it's hard to say. Week 1, it's always tough to say. Eric, what do you think?
I don't know. Kansas City's he's missing Marquise Brown and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I feel like Baltimore's going to be able to take advantage of that. Kind of a weaker rushing attack to force Patrick Mahomes to air it out. But we'll see. Kansas City, went 0-3 in the preseason.
Yeah.
And we'll see how well they actually are, how good they actually are, because we didn't see the Kansas City team that's playing tomorrow.
I wonder what the over-under is for receptions for Kelsey, because hit the over on that for individual props. But for a really good game to start out the season, I'm very wary of betting this. I think the over is a pretty decent bet, but the rest of it, I don't know. Live money lines would be a good one to look at too, especially if Kansas City's down early. It's always a pretty good flyer just to if you can get Kansas City plus money on the money line, that's not a bad bet.
Yeah, very good point.
Friday. We got Thursday and Friday to open. Is the Friday game on Amazon or did
it looks like it is going to be on Peacock. They're playing at Brazil.
Oh, that's right. The 2 green teams that can't wear green.
Can't wear green?
Yeah, because it's. I've heard gang related, but then my wife told me something else completely. That it's like it's not so much gang related, but it's like soccer hooligan stuff. Like the stadium that they're playing in, the team is green and they don't allow anybody to wear green in that stadium. So,
all right.
So yeah, but weird. We got Packers and Eagles in Brazil. Phillies a -131 on the money line. Spreads at 2.5. overs at 49. Give me Green Bay money line, and I'll take the under just because it's in Brazil.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I've been taking the under on all the international games. It's worked out pretty well. I think Green Bay is going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, they should be.
Webb looks good. Jacobs is there now.
Oh, dude. Did I show you my my fantasy football lineup this year, Jake?
I didn't see it yet.
Okay, let me. So I've got Jaden Daniel. Quarterback's kind of my week. I'm just gonna stream quarterbacks throughout the year. I didn't, but I got Jaden Daniels. I got Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Olave, T. Higgins, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, Steelers defense, Malik Neighbors, Hollywood Brown, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then Dalton Schultz from the Texans. So I've got pretty stacked on receivers.
Solid, man.
And Josh Jacobs, I hope
running back. It looks like too.
I hope Josh Jacob runs for 2,000 yards this year.
Me too.
I can't stand. I hate the Raiders, but that Josh Jacobs is a force, and I'm glad to see him on a good team, and a team that likes to run the ball like that too. So like, fucking give that guy the rock.
Yeah, I was sad to see Aaron Jones go. Packers are my team, but Jacobs is a fine replacement.
That's a upgrade.
Aaron
Jones
I
is
hope
great.
so.
Aaron Jones is great, but I think they upgraded.
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, that could be a good offense if he comes out like he's been playing in Oakland.
It could be an old school, like, because if it's a low scoring game, and they didn't have to cross the ocean, so that's, I guess that's a plus. They're probably still on Eastern time zone there in Brazil, but if
long flight,
it is a long flight, and in those international games, it kind of gets into just like an old school slugfest where just like you pound the rock, and you got Saquon on one side and Josh Jacobs on the other, and like that could be a fun, like, old school type of football game. And I don't know, I think I'm gonna take Packers money line just because it's plus money, and I think under is a pretty safe bet for those international games.
All right,
Eric, you got anything on that?
I think I've got Packers over the Eagles just because I think that they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit better than the Eagles will. So I agree with your picks. I'm looking at this Broncos-Seahawks game, and I'm not really sure what to think about it.
That's Seattle -6. Seattle's a 270 money line favorite. Overs at 42. Man, I'm going to stay away from that game.
Don't want to bet against the Broncos?
Well, I don't know what the fuck they're going to be. I don't know.
I got a good idea.
I kind of do too, but
especially is this going to be when Nick's is starting, right? It's going to be his first game?
I think so, yeah.
And Seattle's been pretty solid.
Yeah, but it is Geno Smith. So
was it
a fluke, or is Geno all of a sudden kind of good? You know,
I don't know. I mean, I kind of think he's maybe okay at least, and even if he's not, he's got some great receivers to help him out a little bit.
Got a good running back. You know, I have Geno as my backup in fantasy, but that's just such a big question mark for both of those teams that and 6 is a lot in the NFL. 6 is a big spread. So I'm gonna like I might put Denver plus, it'd be like plus 12 in a teaser. Throw that in with a couple other games. But as far as betting straight up, plus 6, plus 212, over 42. You'd think they'd hit the over on the 42, but again, who the fuck knows?
Broncos.
It's the Broncos, and then on paper, it looks like Seattle should be able to put up a lot of points, but I don't know. That's too big of a question mark for me to like outside of like putting it in a teaser or maybe in a big parlay. I don't know. That's that one's I'm gonna probably hold my fire on that. Patriots at the Bengals. That sounds like
Bengals. I'd pick Bengals all day.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know what the Patriots are. That just sounds like a dog shit game all the way around.
I'm certainly not going to watch it.
No.
But I mean, I'd even take Bengals. Yeah, 7.5 points.
7.5 overs at 40.
I think they got that covered.
And a half. Yeah. I wouldn't mess around with the over under because
I don't know what New York is going to be like at all.
They got a rookie quarterback, and new head coach, it's a whole different program there at New England. So we could be looking at like the 80s era Patriots where they were just hot garbage for a long time. Like what Boston should be, honestly. angry and hating themselves. Steelers at the Falcons. The Falcons made possibly the worst draft pick of all time. Like, even if Penix turns out to be pretty good, they went out and got Kirk Cousins for all the money, and then they go draft like a 30-year-old quarterback that's blown out both of his knees, but has had a couple good years. But that'd be miserable if I was an Atlanta fan.
I don't know. Looks rough there. The under looks real enticing.
It looks really good. Is Kirk Cousins starting or is Penix?
Should be Kirko. Big Kirko should be starting.
Well, and it's an afternoon game, so it's not prime time. Expect 350 out of Kirk Cousins, and probably they'll win. But yeah, that Steelers defense should be nasty. Are they going to run with Russell Wilson? They might as well.
He's their he won the job.
That's depressing for Pittsburgh fans. Russell
I don't know.
Wilson sucks.
I bet he just went out and worked out so much this offseason after getting dropped by the Broncos. I mean, that's just got to be a little bit humiliating way to end your career.
I will say that we didn't see any cheesy gay steelworker catchphrase videos. Steelers country, let's bang. I wonder if AI can make that. Like just redo the Let's Ride commercial but just do it all in yellow and black and Steelers country, let's bang. Yeah, I like the under on that game. Atlanta's -3.5. Pittsburgh at plus 152 on the money line. I might sprinkle a little bit on that. I might sprinkle a little bit on that. Tomlin's a hell of a coach. expect them to be a winning record this year, despite having Russell Wilson as your quarterback. There, that's just what Mike Tomlin does. He just fucking wins in ugly ways, but they fucking win. Arizona at Buffalo.
I love Arizona. I really like. Why am I blanking on his name? I really
Josh
like Kyler
Allen.
Murray.
Oh, Kyler Murray.
I don't think that Arizona's got enough tools for them to even compete against Josh Allen and the Bills.
Well, I got Marvin Harrison Jr., so he can just throw it up to Marvin Harrison 15 times a game and let him eat.
Yeah. I still think Kyler should have gone to the A's.
Probably should have. Who knows what Arizona's going to be? And honestly, I don't know what Buffalo's going to be. They're kind of looking like they might have missed their window with Josh Allen, and they'll probably.
I mean, he's still a good quarterback.
He is, but it's kind of feeling the same.
It seems like he can't really get it done in the playoffs, but like you should destroy Arizona's defense.
You should, and it's in Buffalo, so we got Bills minus 285 on the money line, minus 6.5 on the spread. Over unders at 48.5. I wouldn't mind the over on that. I think 6.5. Yeah. And going from west to east, yeah, maybe you might take Buffalo minus 6.5.
Yeah, that's not terrible. I don't know. I might do some live betting on that one.
Yeah, if Buffalo goes down early, like get a money line at plus money. That's always a good bet. Yeah, I don't know. Arizona can probably put up some points though. Buffalo's defense was okay, but nothing right home about. I don't know. The Bills probably be a while. I don't know. They got Miami in the division, so I think Miami's probably a better regular season team than the Bills. I'd take the Bills in the playoffs over Miami, but yeah, I think the Bills will be in the playoffs. I think, but I don't know. It seems like they maybe still within the window, but that window's closing pretty quick for them to still be a force in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm still pretty high on them. So,
Houston at Indy 2 years ago, this would have been a dog shit matchup, but this is a fun little game. If Richardson's comes back and he looks like he did before he got hurt, the Colts are going to be a tough team to beat. Houston surprised everybody last year, looked really fucking good, and they got better.
Stroud looked great.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. That's so it's at Indy, and Indy is a home dog at plus 129. That's not a bad little sprinkle there. Lines at 3, over unders at 49. I think I like the under in that game because I think Houston really loaded up on defense. Indy's always got a pretty for the last like 3 or 4 years have had a pretty salty defense. And it's a division game, so that could be fun. It could be a shootout, but I think it'd be more of a lower scoring, like a 24-21 type of game.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Houston to cover here.
Yeah. So over under is at 49. That would put it at. That'd be like what a 20. That'd be like a 27-24 game, somewhere in that.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time finding the exact number, but it's right in that area. Yeah, I'm seeing like a 24-21 type of game. I like the under. That seems right about where it should be. It feels like a 3-point game. I think Houston probably wins that, but I like Indy at home with the plus money. I don't know if Indy pulls it out, but I'll sprinkle a little bit on that just because I like the plus money.
All right,
Eric, what do you think?
I don't know. I think Houston's going to take it. I don't think Anthony Richardson is as good of a quarterback as everybody thinks he is.
Okay.
Right now, I don't think he's as good, and I think CJ Stroud's got a lot more weapons and a lot more tools at his disposal that I think he's going to take advantage of.
Well, and I may be wrong in that, but I think they got better on defense, and they got D'Amico Ryans as their head coach, and he's a defensive guy. So, I mean, Houston could be a fucking force this year.
Oh yeah, I definitely think they're going to be a AFC team we're looking to take down Kansas City. I think
could be. Yeah, Anthony Richardson. I don't know. I didn't see nobody saw a whole lot of him because he got hurt pretty early. But what I did see, he looked good. I didn't watch him at all in college, so I don't know. But Indy's a pretty tough place to play as well, though. Indiana don't have a whole lot going on, so they like their Colts. And and just being a division game, I think it's unless Houston's just really like that much better than Indy, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. So I don't know, that's a pretty fun game to look for, though. Particularly if Richardson is good, then that's going to be a tough division. Then we got Jacksonville at Miami. Got Miami minus 175 on the money line. 3.5 point favorites at home. Over unders at 49. Is Trevor Lawrence a bust?
I don't think so. If we look at his numbers, he's a very good quarterback playing on a very bad team. He makes smart decisions. He's able to get the ball off. He just happens to be stuck on the
team that should be in London.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the spread's this close. I think this is easy Miami at minus 3.5.
I would think so too. Who's smarter, Vince Young or Trevor Lawrence? Because Trevor Lawrence seems like he's really dumb.
I'd believe that he's dumb.
Yeah, he has never sounded very intelligent. He looks like he should be the best quarterback of all time. Like he's got all the athletic ability. He seems like he should be really good, and then he's okay. He's definitely an NFL caliber quarterback, but he just Is it Jacksonville or is it Trevor Lawrence? Probably Jacksonville.
Can't be helping.
It's definitely not a help that he's in Jacksonville. Miami is going to score 1 million points this year and then lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Without a doubt.
It'll be fun to watch during regular season, though.
Oh, fuck yeah. Especially especially if Tua's head doesn't explode on the field. That like Tua's a really good quarterback when his head isn't in danger. He's got all the weapons. They're a fun like Madden type of team. They're not even like a Madden team. They're like the old school NCAA football type of team.
Oh yeah.
They're just fast. They're fun to watch, but they're soft. Like when they play somebody who's gonna hit them in the mouth, they wilt pretty hard. But yeah, give me Miami minus 3.5. Probably take the over on that too. Minnesota at New York. This is a disgusting game. It would have been I would have been interested a little bit just to see if that McCarthy was worth all the hype leading up to the draft. But we don't have to worry about that. He blew out his knee.
Yeah. So
we got Sam Darnold versus Danny Dimes. We could have 12 touchdowns thrown in this game.
They would all pick sixes.
Yeah.
Well, we could have 12 interceptions as well, and who knows? It's basically so it's at New York. New York's a home dog plus 103. Overs at 41, spreads at 1.5. That's a fucking disgusting game. Don't touch it.
There's no way I'm touching it. There's no way I'm watching it.
Yeah, and it's a 1:00 game. So unless you lost your ass on college football, don't chase anything in that game. That's a terrible game to bet. Don't. I'm probably going to bet something on it, but I'm not advising anybody to bet on that game. Or the next game, Carolina at the Saints. Saints are minus 200. Oh well, Eric, you got anything to say on the Vikings Giants?
No.
Okay.
that game is going to be difficult for anybody to watch, and I'm feeling so sick right now that the thought of that game is making me feel worse.
Yeah, I forget you're struggling over there, so we'll go on too many more tangents. But yeah, Panthers at the Saints. That's also a disgusting game. Saints minus 4. Over under at 41.5. I don't like anything. Away. Don't like anything about that game. Titans at the Bears. We got Bears home favorites minus 202. Spreads at 4. Overs at 45. I might take the over. It seems. I don't know what Tennessee's defense is like, but they got a lot of weapons and a quarterback that likes to sling it. Chicago went out and got their next quarterback that they're going to destroy for a career. And this guy, I don't even feel bad for him. He has pink fingernails. So I don't typically root for guys to fail, but he's kind of one that I'm it's up on that list. And he's from USC, and I'm anti USC from way back. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I think maybe the over, but I'm not real confident on that either because Tennessee usually has a pretty decent defense. I don't know what Tennessee's kind of a bugaboo. They're never going to do anything, but they can play spoiler quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm probably staying away. I mean, some of these teams are, got some question marks around them. Like, I don't know how the Bears' offense is going to look. Just kind of stay away from those games, and at least for week 1.
I wonder what the over is for Bo Nix though, because Bo Nix can throw a football over them mountains, and He's probably going to be offensive rookie of the year. Might be the he might be the MVP. Who knows? That being said, I'm probably not going to bet that game either. I don't know enough on that one. Raiders, Chargers. We got a division game, AFC West to start it. Chargers are minus 163 favorite. Spreads at 3. Over-unders 40.5. It's at the Chargers, but that's going to be a Raiders home game. And I don't believe in the Chargers at the moment. I mean, they do have Harbaugh, but I don't know. Like, don't be surprised if the Chargers win 12 games and not make the playoffs. That's kind of their strategy over the last 15 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't expect much from the Raiders as a longtime Raiders fan. And the Chargers haven't done anything to make me think they'll be any different than they have been. So I'm
Raiders at plus 133 money line. I might sprinkle a little bit on that too. Just because, like I said, the Chargers don't have a fan base. The Raiders used to be in LA. That's gonna be a Raiders home game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. It's so close. It's hard to choose there. Maybe I'd play it in a parlay somewhere.
Who is Herbert throwing to nowadays? Because Keenan Allen's in Chicago. Eckler is, I don't know where he's at, but not San Diego.
Who's the rookie?
Not LA.
Who's the rookie from last year?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, he's DJ Chark and Lad McConkey.
Oh, okay.
Lad McConkey's out of Georgia. Quentin Johnson was disappointing last year as a rookie, but hopefully, he'll step up.
But it's also Harbaugh, so expect a lot
expect him to blow every single big game they have.
That and whoever their running back is, probably not a bad one to pick up in your fantasy league. They're going to run the ball a lot, I would imagine.
Gus Edwards, you still going to give that advice?
That's not a bad flex play for bye weeks,
All right.
J.K. Dobbins, he might do something.
Yeah, he's kind of made of glass, though, isn't he?
If he can stay healthy, J.K. Dobbins is one of the best guys in the league. But yeah, he is a little bit made of glass.
All right. So we got Cowboys at the Browns.
Cowboys
we got Cowboys road dog plus 115. Spreads at 2.5. Over unders at 41.5. As much as I hate to say it, I kind of like Cowboys money line.
I do too.
If this was the playoffs, I would stay away from that. But
I'd bet so hard against them.
Regular season, yeah, give me Cowboys on that. Probably take them with the spread too. Over under, hard saying. Cleveland's got a good defense. Cowboys should have a pretty okay defense. They still got what's that one?
Micah Parsons.
That dude's insane. But all you got to do is run the ball away from him, and you kind of cancel him out. So, Eric, what do you think on that one?
I think that Deshaun Watson is trash. And he's a trash human being. He's a trash football player. Is it all the pent up semen because he's not getting regular hand jobs? Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Back when he was playing for the Texans, they had to run the Clemson offense because he couldn't learn an NFL offense. So now Shane Steichen is trying to get him to learn an NFL offense. And he's like, I don't know, man. I only play college air raid offenses, and that's the only thing that makes sense. So I think Dallas is a much bigger favorite because I think Dak Prescott's a much better quarterback. I think he plays a lot better.
Yeah, I like Dallas in that game. Cleveland, on paper, there's no reason they shouldn't be good, but it's Cleveland. So you just, I don't know, until proven otherwise, they suck.
Yeah.
Washington at Tampa. Tampa's a minus 176 favorite. Spreads at 3.5. Overs at 44. I
like Baker Mayfield here.
I do too. I don't know what Washington's going to be. Jaden Daniels was awesome in college. We'll see if that translates to the NFL, but I don't think he's got a whole lot of weapons around him if I recall right. And Baker Mayfield's he's good enough to be in the NFL and starting, so he's not well liked by a lot of people. He's little and he's scrappy, but he puts up some numbers. So yeah, if you can buy a half point, take it down to 3, or maybe even a full point, take it down to 2.5, and Tampa with the spread there. Rams at the Lions, that could be a fun game. Stafford going back to Detroit. We got Detroit minus 188 favorite. Spreads at 3.5. Over under at 51. It's a lot of points on the over and under, but
I think I'll still take the over on that.
I'm kind of looking at the over on that. I
think probably the Lions.
Lions should win that game, but the Rams have been pretty scrappy. Stafford's always a threat. He's got that Nakua dude and Cooper Kupp to throw to. That should be. It's kind of tailor made to be a shootout, especially.
I mean, it really is. Lions got a big offense too.
Yeah. It's what's his name? Jared Goff playing his old team. That's a fun game. That's the Sunday night game. I like that. I like the over. I mean, I won't be surprised if I eat my words and that it ends up being like a 13-10 game. But on paper, it looks like it should be a shootout.
See, if I bet Lions and they lose, I just can't. Or if I bet Lions, I can't lose because either I win money or the Lions lose. So
yeah, you're a Packers fan, so yeah, that works. And then Monday night we got Jets at the Niners. Aaron Rodgers coming back off the Achilles. Brock Purdy still not really respected as a real quarterback, but just keeps winning. So
he is a really good quarterback, and he continues to be an underdog, and I think that's going to be really good for the 49ers.
I like Brock Purdy. I kind of like those just quiet, he's kind of a journeyman type, except he's never been anywhere except San Francisco, but he fits that mold, and really that they don't need much more than that at San Francisco. They're kind of on the tail end of their window if they're going to make a push for to win a Super Bowl and continue to be good. They've got a lot of money tied up in some really good players, so they're kind of they're almost in like win now mode. Rodgers has got a lot of weapons around him, and if he's even a shred of his old self, this should be a pretty fun game. Two really good defenses.
I mean, it's all gonna be how the Achilles heals.
Yeah.
And, like we were talking before, he doesn't make that many mistakes. So even if I think even if the Achilles doesn't come back perfect, I think he can make an adjustments and is smart enough not to know what he can do and what he can't do, and not try and force anything.
And he's still probably good for 1 to 3 of those like just classic Aaron Rodgers throws that like nobody else can make. And we'll see if he holds up. We got Niners minus 218 favorite at home, spreads at 4.5, overs at 43.5. I like the under on that. That's two really good defenses. So give me the under. I think the Niners pull it out, but I might take the Jets to cover.
I mean, even if this was like the beginning of last season, before Rodgers gets hurt, I'd take San Francisco easy, but at 4.5 at least.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it as kind of a blowout if if the Jets just don't pan out, but I don't see it being very high scoring. You know, a blowout would be like 21-3 or something like that.
Right.
They're just that. Even if Rodgers is just completely washed up, Jets got a good run game and they got a really good defense. So that should be a low scoring game. I would think.
All right.
Eric, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm kind of liking. I would take the Jets. I don't know. I think a healthy Rodgers with Alan Lazard and Breece Hall to throw out of the backfield too. I really think that he's got a pretty good chance of upsetting them.
Oh, don't forget Garrett Wilson too.
Oh, Garrett Wilson's good, and
yeah, and then that defense is nasty. I mean, if it wouldn't been for the defense last year, like Jets might have lost like 16 games. They were like nobody wanted to play the Jets last year just because that defense was so nasty. So like I said, this also could be like a fun old school type of football game. I don't know. It really all hinges around Aaron Rodgers and what he looks like. I didn't watch a single snap of preseason football, but I heard that he didn't look great. But it's preseason, so I don't.
How much is he really trying?
Yeah, I don't put any stock in preseason football really. So, all in all, like there's only a couple like real trash games. The rest of them are like pretty decent matchups, it seems like, but it's week 1, so we won't know till later on. But
yeah, even if it's not a trash matchup, it seems like enough teams have something interesting to look for during the game. There's only a couple that I'm completely not going to watch.
Yeah, I think there's some plenty compelling football to watch in the NFL. So, before we get out of here, preseason picks for the NFL. I think NFC, we got Philly takes the East. Cowboys probably get the top wild card. NFC South probably goes to Tampa Bay. Who I don't know what New Orleans is going to look like, but it'd probably be between those two.
I'd take Tampa Bay.
I would too. But yeah, if anybody's going to make it close, it'd be New Orleans, I think. NFC West is obviously the Niners. I don't think anybody really challenges them for the division. Seattle, if Geno can keep it together, they'll be a tough team to play in the wild card hunt for sure. NFC North. I like the Packers. I liked what Jordan Love did. Detroit, though, I mean, they're kind of playing the hot hand right now.
I think they're the favorites. I would love to see the Packers win it. I mean, maybe a lot of it's going to rest on how Josh Jacobs comes out.
I think pre-McCarthy getting hurt, the NFC North was kind of the most wide open division in football. But without the Vikings having a real quarterback, I mean, Justin Jefferson's probably still going to put up numbers, but are they going to play spoiler or just, I don't know. I don't. We'll see if Sam Darnold's got anything in him. And Caleb Williams, I kind of hope fails, and I know it's not very Christian of me, but I can't stand that dude.
I don't really have anything against him, but it's the Bears, so.
Well, that doesn't help his case either.
Yeah.
What do you got for the NFC, Jake?
Who's gonna win it out? All?
Yeah.
San Fran.
You think San Fran? Be Eagles Niners in the NFC Championship, you think?
I think that'd be fun. Prefer Packers be there. And I don't think that's even unreasonable, but
no, I don't think it is either. I think they're definitely in the conversation. I think Detroit's in the conversation. Preseason favorites, though, I think it's Philly and San Fran again in the championship. Probably San Fran going to the Super Bowl. I don't know. Eric, what do you got?
I think it's the Packers. I think it's going to be a Packers-Bills Super Bowl.
Oh, going Bills for the AFC?
I've got Bills taking it all the way.
Sticking with your YO boy. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Yeah, AFC, the East, I think Miami runs away with the East and loses first round in the playoffs. I think the Bills catch a wild card. Bills are always tough in the playoffs. We'll see how they do this year. I think the Bills and the Niners are in that kind of must-win window where they're either going to be able to reload because they won, or they're going to have to start shipping pieces off and relying more on the draft. The AFC South, I think Houston's a pretty clear favorite. Indy might be pretty decent. Tennessee, who knows? They've got some big receivers, and they got a guy that likes to throw it around, and if history serves as any proof, they should have a good defense. But yeah, I think Houston's the clear favorite in the AFC South. AFC West, obviously the Chiefs. I don't see any of the other teams making any sort of run for the AFC West.
Bo Nix isn't going to do it for you.
I mean, he can throw a football over the mountains, but he's not Patty Mahomes.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe so. if you're not in football. I don't see anybody in the AFC West challenging the Chiefs really. Broncos might steal a win against the Chiefs in division. That wouldn't be unheard of, even if the Broncos were terrible, just being a rivalry game. But as far as the division goes, I think until proven otherwise, the Chiefs are going to win that. AFC North, Baltimore is the clear favorite. We'll see if Joey Burrow's can bounce back and make that division interesting. Pittsburgh will probably be a wild card team at 9-8, like they always are, but not super exciting to watch.
Yeah,
I think the Ravens are going to be monsters this year.
I think they should be. It's a very cliche pick, but I've got the Chiefs and the Ravens in the AFC Championship. My heart says go with the Ravens on that, but it's a betting show, and until proven otherwise, I'm taking Chiefs. So
I'm going Ravens.
Fair enough. I'm rooting Ravens, but my money's going on Chiefs. At least preseason what. So I don't know. I'm excited to see how we did next week. So you guys got anything to add before we get out of here?
Nope. Just looking forward to some football back.
I know, it's exciting. Everything's coming through.
It's a great time of year. Always is. Baseball's heating up. Football's just getting kicked off, and unlike college, NFL just jumps right into it. It's shit gets interesting real quick in the NFL. So I'm excited. It's been long enough. Let's get some real football going. So, all right, I'm gonna play the country version of the song. Maybe we'll have I may even just change the song out when we're all done. But thanks for tuning in. Happy betting, and this has been Burnin' Daylight Sports.
Three voices crackle through the radio waves, talking about the lines and the spreads to save. Matt, Jake, and Eric break it down real fine. Their Outlaw podcast keeps us in the betting line. From the dirt tracks to the NFL, they analyze the stats, got stories to tell. With a cold beer in hand and a Texas twang, they're the kings of the odds, ain't no thing. It's laying down the bets with a gambler, so risking all on teams chasing that pot of gold. With three rebel hearts and a single rule, bet smart, bet wild, and a sports book school. Eric laughs as Jake calls out the play. Matt's got the inside guides our way. From over-unders to the money lines, their Outlaw 5 is where the magic shines. Through the highs and lows of each gambling night, they keep us steady even when we lose sight. With their tales of wins and lessons from the fall, their Outlaw podcast always got us all in thrall.